Welcome back to the cabin. Today we're going to continue on the solar install, and I finally figured out how I'm going to do the solar panels. I have I have 11 solar panels, but I'm going to put 3 right here. So that way's facing south, so it'll have sun pretty much all day long. Then I'm going to do 1 right here, 2 up across there. That makes for 6. And then I'm going to buy a couple bars and connect the outhouse to the power shed, and I can do 3 across here. So that's 9. So I'm going to be using 9 of the 11 solar panels for now. So I'm going to have these 3 connected together. This one and the 2 across connected together, and that gets the full evening sun that way. And then these 3 connected together, and that gets the full evening sun again. So I'm going to be harvesting the evening sun mostly, but these 3 will get all day sun. So I should be getting power pretty much all day long. So I'm going to go ahead, start laying this out, and just get some of these connected up. All these are used panels, so pretty much all of them had wires already connected to them. So all I did was undo these 2 screws, remove the red and black wire, and now I'm going to feed the new wire up through and just reconnect it to the same place. I figure if that's where it was connected before, it must be the correct way. And it had 10 gauge wire on, and that's what I'm replacing it with, is 10 gauge wire. So I'm keeping it all the same. Personal preference, I like twisting the ends of the wires together before I stick them up through. Okay, those are tight on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the brackets. So here's a bracket, and it's made to go on just like this. And it comes with a bolt, a washer, a locking washer, and a nut. So you just slide the bolt and a washer through there, stick that on, stick the locking washer on, and then the nut, finger tighten it down, make sure that's tight up against the side. Then just go ahead and tighten it as tight as you can get it. And what that does is it keeps the panel about an inch or so off whatever you're mounting it to, such as the wall here. And then I can run the wire and conduit down through this gap down at the bottom. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the 3, and I'll catch back up with you guys. So in here, what I'm doing is I'm just lining these brackets up, making them perfect, and then putting a self-tapping screw in. Okay, I got the 3 panels mounted. What I'm doing with this wire is basically just pulling it snug, and then I'm going to measure out over to where I'm going to take it down into the ground. And then adding about a foot or so before I cut it off. So that's my first group of 3 mounted. Now I'm going to connect them together and run the wire over to the power shed, which is just right there, and then get it hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and put the ends on my wires. I have them right here. There's 2 types of connectors, as you can see here. This one is always the positive or the red one, and this one's always the negative or the black wire. There's also 2 ends here, and as you can see, they're 2 different sizes, and they clamp onto the actual wire itself. This always goes on the red or the positive, and this always goes on the black or the negative. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these up right now. I have the wire cut off the black end, so I'm going to go ahead and crimp it on using my little crimping tool here. Got one side crimped on, I'll do the other side. Okay, got that crimped on. Now I'll cut the wire off the other one. You only want to go about 3/16 to 1/4 inch of stripping the coating off the wire. Got it. One side. The other side. Now what you do is you unscrew that, and there's a little rubber washer. Stick the screw cap on first, stick the rubber washer on next, and you stick this up through the hole, and it's tight, but it's supposed to be tight. And you got to hear that little snap, and that's when you know it's up in all the way. Then you fit the little rubber washer up in there, then you screw this on all the way.
Now you just do the same thing for the other side, for the black, the negative. Sometimes these rubber washers don't want to come out. Put the cap on first, then the rubber washer. Then just like the positive side, this one you stick in and you'll hear a little snap once it's in all the way. There. Then carefully fit the washer up in there nice, and then you screw this on all the way. And that's all there is to it. And then you got your connectors, and if you need, you can connect these into like a combiner like I have here. I'm going to be combining these three into one run. So what I can do is, this is the out and it's negative because it's got this end on it. So I can take the other end and it just snaps right in like that. And you can push these in and pull it right back apart. And that's all there is to putting ends on wires for solar panels.
It's the second week into the solar panel install, and as you can see, the weather has definitely changed. We got a couple inches of snow yesterday, probably 2 or 3 inches easily of snow up here. So the weather is definitely changing. I did go out and buy a bunch of flexible conduit, a lot of different connectors, like these type of connectors and different things, and even 2 pieces of 10-foot rigid conduit to put all the wires in and make everything look nice and neat. However, since the weather changed and it's not going to be that nice out, I'm just going to do it down and dirty without any conduit, just run the wires, and next summer when it's nice out, I'll go ahead and change it. I think it's more important just to get the panels up and functioning now for this winter than make it look nice and pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So far what I got done on this solar panel, I got the 4 mounting brackets mounted. And then I also, there was a long piece of flexible conduit that was mounted on here. I went ahead, took that off, and then reattached the 2 wires. I'm going to put the base plate back on and then go ahead and try to get this mounted. Okay, I got the faceplate mounted on the box there. Now I'm going to try to mount this up on the wall by myself. This should be interesting to watch. Slight change of plans. I'm going to go ahead and put the ends on these 2 wires first, then mount it. So let's go ahead and get that done. That went a lot easier than what I thought it would. Got one panel mounted, now on to the next. As you can see, I got the 3 solar panels hooked up. So now I got 6 solar panels hooked up total, 3 pointing pretty much directly south, and these 3 pointing directly west. So I'm gonna get a lot of sun. I already checked, I'm pulling, the max I've pulled so far is a little over 10 amps off these 6 solar panels, so that's perfect. The batteries are fully charged and they're staying fully charged even under usage. So that's great. I'm gonna hold off on doing the other 3 panels. Probably won't even hook them up this winter, just see how it runs, and plan on hooking them up next spring or summertime. I'm gonna call this part of the system done, and let's move on to something else. The next part of this solar install is gonna be running a permanent line from the cabin over to the power shed and hook it into the breaker panel. What I'm gonna do is put the wire in this 2-inch conduit that I have. It's actually just black PVC pipe, but I'm going to use it as conduit. And this is the wire I'm going to use. This is the wire I've used the whole time. It's regular house wire, but it's armored with a metal coating on it, metal cover on it. So I'm going to run that wire through the black PVC pipe, and also this gray wire right here This is the wire coming from my 3 solar panels that's on the cabin over to the power shed. So I'm gonna run both lines through, and I had plans on burying this black PVC pipe this year. I want to bury it down 2-3 feet down in the ground, but I just ran out of time this year, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just stick the wire in the PVC pipe and just leave it lay on the ground. It'll be somewhat protected from the elements, and it'll give a little added protection from any squirrels or mice or anything like that that wants to try to chew on it. And plus, the big benefit is, one, I'll get the whole thing hooked up the way it should be, and I can get rid of this black extension cord that I've been using to plug the cabin into. So let's go ahead and get started on this part of the project. I have a hole drilled right here in the floor for the wires to come up through from the conduit. I was actually trying to drill it over here, but this floor is basically 3 pallets, and these are the heavy duty pallets, and they have the metal mesh that holds everything together, and that's what I ran into here. So I had to move the hole over to here, and I'll bring the wires up through here. They'll go down through into the conduit and over to that corner of the cabin. Let's go ahead and get running the wire. Okay, this pipe is going to come right over like this, something like this, for the time being anyways. And I'm going to run the 2 wires down through here over to the power shed. So I'm going to go ahead and get started doing that. Okay, it just came out the other end. Let's move over there. As you can see, I got all 3 wires. I think what I'll do is I'll tape these together to make it easier to pull. I hope taping these 2 together makes it easier to push them through. I think I'm getting close. Yep, I see the end coming out. Okay, it's out this end. Okay, I got the solar panel plugs pulled far enough up through to go ahead and connect them back in, so I will. Even though the sun's not shining on them any longer, I'll just get them plugged back in, and I know specifically how long I need to keep this wire. Okay. Okay, this other wire is long enough also, so I'm going to go ahead and connect the PVC pipe together. So this is about where the PVC pipe will come up through. I want to come up through right here and come up into this box. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this wire, but I'm going to cut probably 6-8 feet extra, since this is going to be buried a couple feet down in the ground. I want to make sure I have enough wire and don't have to run a new wire through and waste all this. So I'm going to cut this overly long just to make sure of that. And I just realized I forgot to put an elbow on that end down there. But I'm gonna have to pull the wires back down through the hole when I bury it to put the upright piece in anyway. So I'll have to do that all next summer. Okay, this is what I have. I have the wire I just pulled coming up through, the black going into the breaker, the green wire nutted to the other green for the ground, and then the white going into this bus bar, screwed into the bus bar. So I believe that's the way it should be. Either everything's going to blow up or it'll work. So let's go ahead and connect up the other end to the cabin. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to unplug the cabin. And since the cabin's not plugged in, I might as well turn it off. Okay, let's go and hook up this end now. Okay, I got the cabin wired in. As you can see right here, this goes to the plug that I always plug the cabin in with, and it is no longer in there. Let's go turn everything on and see what happens. Okay, this is the scary part. Let me see. Okay, the breaker is turned off right now. Let me turn the inverter on. Inverter's on. Let's plug this in. Okay, nothing's happened. So that bus bar and everything should be hot right now. Let's flip this breaker and see what happens, if anything. I'm gonna stand back, but I'll leave you guys here to see. Nothing happened. There's 30 watts being pulled right now, which it should be. That's what the DeWalt battery charger is pulling. So that's good. It looks like I did it. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. So now what I'm gonna do is just put the extra breaker in here, just set it in the bottom for the time being, and put the panel on. I'm ecstatic. This is awesome. Got solar panels charging the batteries. And if that's not enough, I can use my generator. I have everything wired in. I got the cabin taken off of extension cord power. So now I can roll up this other extension cord and get it out of the way. I still have the ground to put in, grounding everything to the rod that I put in a while back. And then I need to dig the trench and bury this conduit. And I need to put in the wind turbine. And I might put in some more solar panels either this year or next summer. I haven't decided yet completely, but probably won't put any in this year, I'm assuming. But I'm happy everything's hooked up and running. Nothing burnt down yet. I'm still alive. I don't think today could get any better. Please don't forget, if you like this type of thing, or the homesteading lifestyle, hunting, Alaskan lifestyle, such as four-wheeling or snow machining, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. It does help out a lot. It gets my videos out to other people who may not know about them that do like this type of material. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you all for watching the video. I don't know what to say. I'm so happy that this is working.